Welcome to Tekedia Daily. I'm Ndubuisi Ekekwe. Our conversation today will focus on Jobberman and how this pioneering company in Nigeria in the digital space could boost growth. Jobberman was one of the earliest digital companies in Nigeria. It started just like that by a group of students that just graduated from a university. He quickly pioneered a new sector, making it possible for people to find employment through the internet. It was certainly a very good novel idea because then waiting for the Guardian newspaper to publish vacancies was just the order of the day. And we do estimate that around 2012, when Jobberman might have actually been at the very peak, must have made between $1 million to $1.5 million in revenue. But it may not necessarily be so today because of so many factors. Especially the main one is recession. We estimate that Jobberman must have dropped less than $1 million in revenue in 2016. But nevertheless, we cannot forget that Jobberman provided a really good service. It was very efficient, and our company actually used Jobberman many times. And they delivered a service, especially when it was free, and made it possible to connect to many Nigerian graduates that were actually looking for employment opportunities. So unfortunately, it happens in technology ecosystems. New companies come, new companies have to take over. The digital boss has moved from Jobberman. We're now talking of Flutterwave, we're talking about Paystack and other ones. We are not necessarily talking about Jobberman really that much anymore because people just feel, hey, it's an old company. It has gotten into middle life. But also the company has largely moved on in the sense that it has partially exited. In other words, other companies are bought, acquired, and so that entrepreneurial startup boss, it doesn't necessarily have it anymore because it's actually now part of a bigger company. So, but the key thing here is the business environment in Nigeria, when Nigeria got into recession, actually affected in significant ways the operations of Jobberman. And also, there's also one big problem. Offline still rules in Nigeria. There are so many things, especially at the level of government, and also the upper middle class and the very, very rich people. You can't just do them online. You still have to go through the offline. Employment at their highest level is still controlled largely offline. People still believe that the best employment opportunities are actually ones that are published in newspapers. And government entities and public sectors still have these requirements through their acts that they have to advertise for the job. And most times, that advertisement is not considered to have been done until it's put on the newspaper, print newspaper. So it's an employer market because there are so many, many, many people looking for a very small few jobs that are available. So the employer dictates the game. And this is a little bit different when you go around most parts of the world, where there is absolute direct consequence for a company not finding the capacity to attract very bright young people. There are so many young people looking for jobs, of course, around the world. That is expected. But the problem here is that in Nigeria, the proportion is extremely in orders of magnitude more. So, Jobberman provides a job portal for job seekers. This also provides consulting services like career advice, CV writing, recruitment, HR, pastoral headhunting. This has also moved into placement services like executive search, and recently it has this marketplace of e-learning. But the e-learning is bringing other companies who basically have learning solutions to host them on Jobberman and potentially also help people that are looking for employment opportunities to find courses, digital courses that can help them boost their ability and their capacity and their employability. So all these services are really great, but there are still things that Jobberman could do in order to continue to improve his bottom line. But the challenges are obvious. Before we get into some of those things that the company has to do, the first one is recession. Of course, during recession, companies retrench. Companies are not interested in hiring people because they don't know the future. And when that happens, companies like Jobberman, uh, just being part of the economy has to have consequences in the sense that there won't be many job opportunities in the economy. And if there are not many job opportunities, people are not offering any person any opportunity to work. So this becomes one of the bigger challenges I guess they are facing right now. And as I noted before, this is an employer market. And and of course, any employer can have a website. Just ask people to apply therein. We just checked few days ago, Shell is advertising, and people can just go to Shell website to apply for this job. And so this makes it that Jobberman also has to compete against these employer portals that are actually used to recruit people. There is also the requirement in the public sector area that jobs have to be print advertised in newspapers. And until they can modify that act or whatever it takes to make it possible that digital advertisement is also part of it. A lot of budgets associated with such promotion and advertisement, an opportunity that Jobberman will not be catching them. So also the company had a very really bad move when it started planning to charge job seekers because okay, if there are so many people looking for very few jobs, so you can always ask people to pay fees to have access to those few jobs. But the reality here is that Nigeria is still a largely very poor country. And some of these young graduates are sometimes forced in their families going to college, and their parents have taken loans, sold land, sold their best possible anything they have to send them to school. And suddenly you have to ask those kids to also pay to have an opportunity to apply for a job, not even to get a job, if there is anything like that legally. So it is really not a good plan, but I don't know how it turned out for them. So, and the fees, the revenue structure is not really that big in the sense that 5,000 to post a job in the basic ad, there is the silver ad 10,000, and then the quick recruit is 40,000. In a very fairly decent economy, any company can afford this, and it's not expensive. Just spending less than $15 to post a job shouldn't be very difficult. But the question really remains how many of these companies are in positions to actually have job opportunities for people to compete for. So that's where we are looking at what are the steps this company can take to boost growth. We still think that Jobberman needs to have a print kind of catalog that will be strategically positioned and distributed maybe at airports, major government establishments, institutions, just to boost its offline visibility and brand. Because the rich guys are still living in a world that is largely offline. You need to bring your existence in that space where they are so that they can see that they can buy advertisement in Jobberman that people will still see them offline and people will still have opportunity to do them within the online ecosystem. You know, this is also one of the reasons I guess the Jobberman spend significant amount of money advertising his opportunity in Guardian newspaper. You just imagine that a digital company spending money print magazine to tell people about the opportunity in the digital space. So is to essentially say that hey, we know that we have this portal, but the guys that need to see them, they are still reading print newspapers. So we believe that he has to figure out a way to get into advertising catalog, strategically located, strategically positioned to bring new classes of users in this ecosystem. It also needs to find a way to become a specialized institution in the recruitment industry. You can't just be a recruitment entity for any specialized area, any area. It has to have specialization. It's just like Audacity is known for technology. Jobberman has to figure out what he wants to be known for. Either he wants to know into helping people recruit software companies or embedded systems, recruit software engineers, embedded system engineers, or go into help people recruit management consultant trainees. He has to find a way to specialize. And it also needs to use that specialization to build a reputation that it is a place where NYC post NYC graduates can actually prepare for the opportunity to go into the labor market. We understand that the educational system in Nigeria continues to be challenged, so there needs to be that vehicle to prepare these young people, give them opportunity for them to be ready for the opportunities that are available in the private and the government public sector. So Jobberman can take a specific area, build a differentiation, and now become the reservoir where when people are looking for such skills, they can just come there and hire people with that. That's what Audacity does today. And now we believe that there are such market demands, not just in the government, but also in the private sector. And it has to build this, having this long-term talent development. That could actually be a very catalytic redesign in this business strategy. Because everyone is complaining that we can't find talent in the country. Even Iroko TV was saying the other that, hey, the talent is not there in Nigeria, largely in the sense that it has to still move some of these operations to London, the United Kingdom. So, and we continue to see that most of the technology companies are not necessarily uh, opening up R&D centers in Nigeria. They are just largely acceleration of consumerism, where they are opening sales offices, business development offices. But if we can build very strong and deepen our technology capability in our young people, we believe vividly that some of these companies will now be attracted to open design centers and research and development institution units where they can see contributions for our country in a very significant way. Universities may not necessarily have the ability to do that as quickly as possible. So companies like Jobberman can play a real big role in doing that. It can partner with CC Hub and other technology incubators to see how we can build more technology capabilities, capacity building basically, at a very profit-driven mindset, not necessarily within the level of giving everything free. And also, how can he make all these people that it will be training to have become a community? It's just like thinking of a local Lake Porter that as he builds these capabilities, as he builds this talent base, these people can connect. We do believe vividly that the future of Jobberman remains very bright, but the company has to evolve because the dynamics of the industry is significantly changing. You are listening to Tekedia Daily. Thank you.